Pretty excited, guys. So many of you have joined this live training on how to build your own 6 lakh rupees a month revenue generating restaurant in less than 60 days without mortgaging anything. This is just a headline, okay, guys and girls out there. This 6 lakh rupees is just a basic thing which I've put in. There is no hard and some of the restaurants which I have helped build are doing multiples of what I have already shown, and some of them are doing pretty less depending on the concept. So let's not go into that. Let me first start giving you a pretty basic idea. Now, I assume in this training, all of you guys know what a restaurant is. So there was somebody in my last training was I had to start from scratch, but then it was a pretty bad idea because I spent a lot of time making him explain about the restaurant. So I assume that you guys must be knowing what a restaurant is, and that was actually a pretty comedy kind of a scene. So let's start with this. Before we go into this, I want you to promise me something. Once I teach you how to open a restaurant, and once the restaurant starts doing well, I want you to promise me that you are not going to use these powers for evil. Why I want this promise for you is I have helped so many people with opening their own restaurant. This is the famous Sanju Baba's Agnipattu's picture, if you must have, if you recollect. So once you start getting lots and loads of money out there, then it becomes a problem for the owner to stabilize, and then things go haywire. So why I'm trying to put this point before anybody else, before I start with the training, is to help you understand the power of the restaurant business. Restaurant is a very, very good business if you do it the right way, which I'm going to teach you. But then once you get success, what you do of the success is up to you. So I would rather need a promise from me. I want everybody to promise me, actually. Can you please chat out that you promise? Can you promise me this, please? I'm actually typing it out apart from speaking with you. So once you have this success and once money starts coming, that is when it is most important for people to understand and take it responsibly to get the money, and to get the money and put it rightly, invest and all that, which I'm going to teach you later, of course. But then this is the promise which I want from you, and this is the promise which I would really appreciate if you do. Now let's move ahead. First, I would like to make one thing clear. Overall, immediately when you open a restaurant, you're not going to make 6 lakh rupees per month right away. This is an earnings disclaimer. The reason is it is going to take time. Immediately after you, so if you have something in your mind that, I'm going to be a lakpati the day I open the restaurant, not true. It is not going to happen. And if you think that, you need to correct that thinking, because then it is really going to you are really going to get disappointed if you think that you're going to make 6 lakh rupees a month, or right away. So that is the first thing. The first thing which I wanted to make when I started my restaurant was to pay my loan installment which I had taken to make the restaurant. So that is how I generally started. After that, I heard somebody saying somebody earning around 1 lakh rupees a month in profits. So then that was my goal. So I came slowly in this restaurant industry. I didn't have a huge crorepati, banjao crorepati kind of a dream then, and it was pretty slow, in which I came up for the restaurant industry. So make sure that you have that in mind. Keep your goals pretty basic. Don't try to be a very don't try to be a crorepati just in a day. Those things only work in dreams. This is not a lottery ticket. This is a sustainable restaurant. Is a sustainable business which is going to change your life, which has a longevity. What I mean by longevity is it has a big year span wherein you work day in and day out and create a goal, or rather a wealth for yourself as well as a lifestyle. So This is not gambling, and this is not, pardon my frankness, but then I've heard a lot of people with a lot of different expectations coming in the restaurant industry, and sometimes it becomes very hard for me to very hard for me to it's challenging to get those expectations to this level. So currently I have a couple of restaurants which are doing somewhere in the range of 6 lakh rupees to 24 lakh rupees a month. I have helped people to open their own restaurant which are doing even far more than what I am doing. So I mean, I'm using my talent, my experience as well as my skill to help you people to open your own restaurant. But my current restaurants are doing somewhere in the range of around 6 lakh rupees, that is around 20,000 bucks a day, to around 24 lakh rupees, that is what, around, so 80,000, 70 or 80,000 bucks a day. So I hope that helps as far as getting your expectations down. So now let's move ahead. This is one of the restaurants which I helped open recently in Chiplun. This is called as the Foodies Restaurants. I mean, this was one of my nice restaurants which I opened. It was a pretty fast. I mean, we just opened it in 2 months, and this is doing pretty well now. It's doing about 9 lakh rupees a month now, and it has been giving the owner that kind of money power as well as the expectations which we had. There are two owners actually. One is Rohit More, and the other guy is his name is Mr. Rishikesh Shinde, and though they are doing pretty well. If you guys happen to go to Chiplun, that is in Ratnagiri, it's in Maharashtra actually. This restaurant is there on the highway itself, doing very nice. So who is this business for? Now let me explain who this restaurant business is for. If you don't have a business yet, or if you are a fresher, if you want to venture into something of your own, yes, this business is for you. If you don't want to work, or if you want to open your own business and work there, create a sustainable business for your family, restaurant business is for you. If you want to learn, I mean, if you want to learn about the restaurant business, I mean, need not be that this information is only for people who are just going to open the restaurant next month itself. If you want to learn more about the restaurant business, this information is for you. And if you want to plan to open a restaurant in the future, in the near future, this is the right time you have signed up for this online training, and plan to open a restaurant, because you're going to get most of the stuff answered here, which is going to change your life, and which is going to help you set up your own restaurant. So if you already have a business, let's say for example, you are not a fresher, you are not working somewhere, you are already having a business. Again, the restaurant business would be another source of income for you if you happen to set it up. It will be it will be a diversification of your existing business. What I mean by diversification is, you will reduce the risk by depending on just your own business, by getting into this other business and increasing your cash flow. So now, if you are having a business itself, you must be knowing the value of having a steady source of cash flow for your business. Cash is king. If you would have heard, Warren Buffett, the great investor, has always said that he always buys businesses which has got a strong cash flow. So this restaurant business is loaded with cash flow and cash flow component. So make sure that you give it a thought if you are planning to open a restaurant business. Now, who is this not for? This is why I put this is, if you apart from the positivity, you have also to know which people should stay away from the restaurant industry. If you are struggling from your day-to-day finances, I'm sorry to say, but my friend, restaurant business is not for you as of now. Temporarily, this is just a stage. The reason is, I want you, if you are struggling from your day-to-day finances, I want you to focus on your day-to-day finances and get it in order. Try saving some money, the money, try reducing your expenses, and try to reach a point in which you can afford to go in the restaurant industry. You cannot jump in the restaurant industry and start creating a restaurant of your own if you cannot afford to, because then you will come into a lot of trouble, and the lot of trouble, and this will really wreck the restaurant of yours. If you are already in a huge debt and cannot repay that, what I mean is if you are already having a huge loan, if you are already working towards repaying that loan, the restaurant business is not for you. You still have to wait it out, and then once you have it manageable, you can go in the restaurant industry. And thirdly, and I think hilariously rather, if you want to make fast money, you believe in luck or more than hard work. I mean, if you think that you want to be rich within 6 months or a month or so, my friend, a restaurant is not for you. I think I would suggest you betting on horses, or playing cards or something like that, which will also not work for you, frankly speaking. So restaurant industry is about people who really want to change their life, who believe in hard work, and who have patience. The one thing I said in my earlier videos also, the one thing which I believe is the most winning trait for a restaurant to focus to for a restaurant to succeed is patience. So you should have a lot of patience if you want to be in the restaurant industry. But once you have it, success is guaranteed. So why a restaurant? Why not any other business? A restaurant has customers which are everywhere. Every person walking in front of you, every person living nearby your restaurant is your customer. So it's a pretty basic product as per such. It is very easy to set up. There are no fancy permissions, heavy equipments, technology. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist in order to open a restaurant. It is a pretty basic business in itself, and it's a cash business. It is easy to get your money out. There is lot of less waiting time. You don't have to create a formula and wait for 6 months or 1 year to get your money out, get your profits out. It is the fastest cash business ever. You cook the food, you serve the food, the customer eats it, he pays you whatever is the cost of cooking the food and your rent and all that stuff, minus plus the profits. It is in your pocket by the end of the day, unless you are giving a lot of credit, which I think is a pretty bad idea. So that is what are the advantages of the restaurant industry. My goal for you in this online training is to make sure that the only way for you to build a successful business is by starting a restaurant of your own. What I mean by that is, you have to first understand that there are a lot of businesses which you can do apart from the restaurant. You can do jewelry business, you can do trading, you can do stock broking, anything. But I think I am a little biased toward this because I have a strong reason. I have been doing this for the past 20 years. The best thing which you can do for yourself is when people who have earlier than you have succeeded in doing, and that is by starting and running a successful restaurant. So this is my goal, to make sure that I make you understand this simple fact that the more you think about which business to go in without any experience, without getting knowledge from people who have not done it, the more you will be on your path to doom. So please understand this fact. This will give you a lot of clarity, and the only successful way to create your own restaurant is through get your restaurant. What I mean by this is, the techniques which I teach you are my own tried and tested methods. I have lost a lot of money. I cannot even count how much I have lost actually. And by the trials and the errors, and I have formulated this formula, and this will help you to create your own restaurant by walking on my path and learning from my mistakes. So I am giving you everything on a platter. I am giving you every right way to do the restaurant and what wrong way not to do a restaurant. So you can save a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort by doing the right things, which will help you to open your own restaurant. So who am I? Who is Gopal Kamath? I live in Mumbai with my wife and two daughters, and I help a lot of individuals with opening their own restaurant. Individuals like you, while not working, and I enjoy spending time with my daughters and my wife. I love to travel, eat local cuisines. I'm a foodie actually. If you see this is the speech which I had given somewhere, I don't even remember, but I'm a pretty plump guy. I love to eat. I mean, if you meet me, I'll not leave you till, I mean, if you meet me in the evening, I'll not leave you till it is 2 o'clock at night, where we eat from each and every place at your local area, at your cow gully or wherever. So this is this is my reality, and I am very happy about it. I'm a foodie by birth, so and I own a couple of restaurants. If you would have known of Govindashram restaurants, there are a chain of restaurants in Mumbai, and one of my famous Kamath residency, that is a 40-room adventure resort near Mumbai. So I'm basically hail from Bombay, and I'm a hotelier hardcore right from my grandfather days. So that is one thing which I do. If you ask me about shares and anything else, I don't know anything. But if you ask me about the restaurant industry, I'll not say that I know everything as such. I am also learning in this process. But since being in this industry, I have known a lot of things which have helped me to, drive my business and my restaurant business to success. So this is one of the normal meetup which I had with my people whom I work with at my resort. This is another of the team, the local team who had come in, whom I had celebrated actually at my resort itself. So this is my first restaurant. It was called Hotel Govindashram. It is still called Hotel Govindashram, but then we have renovated it now. Earlier, around 10 years back, we used to serve Maharashtrian thalis in this restaurant. This Govindashram is a restaurant which used to serve somewhere around 800 thalis per day. And it was to be super cheap meals. So that I remember we used to serve meals for around 28 or 30 bucks, which is close to not. I mean, you don't get anything at 25 rupees now. I think your tea, the morning today, I had my tea at some Udupi restaurant. It cost me around 24 rupees, including GST. This was a pretty big meal which we used to serve. Super cheap meals. I mean, we used to do somewhere around 800 thalis. We did a huge sale, and from that, I bought the land for my resort, and from the sales of this, restaurant. But then the problem started around 6 or 7 years back, and the trends and the tastes changed. The meal volumes went down. What I mean by that is the Maharashtrian food which was there in the Girgaon. Girgaon is a location which is near Charni Road in Mumbai. It is in South Bombay actually. So the volume started dropping. People started the taste changed because the people changed. A lot of Maharashtrian people started leaving Mumbai, Girgaon, and they went to Dombivli, Thane, and Virar and all the outskirts suburbs of Mumbai. And the taste changed. People started having more of Punjabi food, Chinese food, Italian food, Conti food. So that is how my meal volume went down. The restaurant decor started looking old. My sales dropped, and around somewhere around 7 or 8 years back, it's around 9 years back. Now I had to shut down my restaurant because it was not doing that kind of sales. Actually, it was going into losses. So as I said earlier, I have been there. I have been in the downs. I have been in the total, ruins of the restaurant industry. So don't think that since I am owning a chain of restaurants and a resort, everything is successful. You learn from the process. I have learned a lot from this process. So this is my backstory. In the meantime, I opened my new restaurant called Kamath's Govinda. It is at Nagothane on the Mumbai-Goa highway. This is behind. This is ahead of my resort actually, and this started doing very well. Here I did something different. What I did is since there were people who were traveling on the road who were from different backgrounds, like some were Maharashtrians, Punjabis, Muslims, this thing here, Jain people, Gujarati people, Rajasthani people. So different people traveling on road needed different kind of food. So I started serving different kind of cuisines. Maharashtrian cuisine, Punjabi cuisine. I even served some snacks as well as Chinese cuisines. So second thing which I did, which was pretty, I would like to say pretty thoughtful, was I built a big restaurant. My Govindashram restaurant was a pretty small restaurant. If you know, in Bombay, the real estate is pretty expensive. So here I did is, since I had taken a land, I big restaurant. So the more number of people would sit in, it would have big volume. So then there were less people who were turning around during rush hour. So that is what I'm going to speak later. But then this is what I did different. And then I used to have a combination of economy as well as the premium price food, so that I get that kind of profit margins down while running the restaurant, and I set up the right system. I kept the professional management there in my restaurant. That is how I managed to make a lot of profits in this restaurant and increase my brand. So now, what is possible now, since around 7 or 8 or 10 years down the line, what is possible now? I am totally free with my business. I help people like you to set up your own restaurant via my website, that is the getyourrestaurant.com. I spend more time with my family because I have set up systems, I have set up staffing, and I just need to check the systems, and to check the things only for a few days in a month, and I have set it up in such a way that I can reap the benefits. And all of this is happening as my sales are soaring, and I am opening other outlets of mine as well as my students. By what I mean by students is by the people who learn from me how to open their own restaurant. All this is happening while everything else is increasing. So it's not that I am going out with my family and my sales are dropping. So this is the advantage if you do it the right way. So what I've discovered the hard way, and probably if you see why other restaurants close, this is probably why the other restaurants close. And this is what we have also been suffering as restaurant owners, which I want to put in front of you is, I used to sell lot of food very cheap. I mean, I used to be in a price competition. This person is selling the thali for around $50. Let's sell it for $45. So that is a foolish way to go into losses. Actually, that can really run down your restaurant. I used to overstaff my restaurant. Lot of people, lot of salary. My salary and wages was so high that it used to be a problem for me to arrange for money when there used to be a time to pay their salaries. I didn't maintain a list of customers, and I didn't marketing. I was not knowing what is marketing to a restaurant. I used to totally neglect home delivery sales, which is again a very foolish kind of an idea to do. I used to neglect party sales also, because then my restaurant used to have so many people in house that I have never thought of giving bulk or party sale. I never didn't focus on guests at all. I just focused on delivery. I didn't focus on guest relations. So these are all the small things which I am just pushing in front of you, just for you to know that it is not a hard business if you take into considerations all these points which I'm going to teach you down the line. I did not introduce new cuisines. I kept on the old, serving the same old shit which I talk about. And I feared the competition. I didn't raise my prices, even though the costs was going up every day. So that is what is one of the most I think stupid things which I had done when I was when I was running the restaurant around 10 years back, and which I have learned from a lot of things. So now let me tell you what what will make your restaurant successful in just 10 minutes. So now I'm going to give you some basic review of what all you need to think if you want to open your own restaurant. So now I've derived around 3 of the secrets of building a successful restaurant, which I want you to know, which will help you to base. It's like these three sides of a triangle. These are the 3 legs of a stool, which will help your restaurant to be built successfully as well as to manage successfully. The secret number 1 is selecting a winning location. So how to choose a winning location for your restaurant so that you are flooded with a lot of customers as soon as you open. So that is one of the fastest way to make money, as well as to ensure that your costs are taken care of. The second is how to plan it right, how to secure finance and select a winning concept for your restaurant without mortgaging anything, not even your house. So there are ways in which you can raise money without putting your assets down on the line. Of course, you need a little bit of money to bring up that down payment or whatever is required if you are asking for a loan. But there are ways in which you can raise money which don't need you to mortgage everything of yours. So that is what I'm going to teach you here. And the third thing which I want to teach you is how to attract and retain superstar employees to your restaurant in less than 7 days. Staffing is one of the most important aspect of the restaurant industry, and if you don't have good staff, I think you must have known by now. If you don't have good staff, it is very hard for you to run a successful restaurant. Forget doing profits. If you don't have good staff, you will actually start losing money. But if you do the right way, restaurant business will be like a breeze. So let's start with this first secret, that is how to choose a winning location for your restaurant so that it gets flooded with customers as soon as possible. Now, firstly, if you would have gone to a lot of restaurants, if you would have seen a lot of people eating in that restaurants. Now, what I want you to is to think of why does this restaurant have so many people coming there? So you have to first investigate where are most of the restaurants located. So you can do that by going to google.com. I'm sure you guys must be knowing Google, and searching the nearby locations where you are staying. So what will happen is, once you do that, you'll come up with a list of restaurants which are near the location where you stay. Now, I had done this search a couple of days back for you. There is a place called Ghatkopar, where I moved out. I went to Google and I searched for a lot of restaurants in the Ghatkopar area, and this is what came up. Go to maps on the Google, and you will be able to search how these kind of restaurants come in. So these are all the restaurants. There is Bharat Cafe, there is Cafe Coffee Day, there is Chocolate Room, there is Eat Pray Love. So here are all the restaurants. This will help you to first locate which are the restaurants which are already existing near your area. So I would strongly suggest you to first investigate and create a list of who existing players are. Don't just go out there and find out a location and say that, no, I'm going to make open my restaurant here only. You have to first know the market in order to enter the market. So make sure you do that. So these are the restaurants. So now think, secondly, why are they located near each other? Why are there so many restaurants? Why are there so many restaurants at one area? This will make your brain think that there needs to be something here which is helping these restaurants to get those customers, day in day out, which is helping these restaurants to have that kind of people every day to who are going to eat. So this is what I came up with. There were a lot of residential areas nearby. Like if you see, there is the Parsiwada, there's the Guru Nanak Nagar. There are a lot of residencies. What I mean by residencies, a lot of housing societies and housing colonies and all those. And there are thousands of people living in these colonies, and these are the customers of your restaurant, and these are the customers of these joints and these pizza parlors and all that. So it is very, now deriving from this fact, it is very important that your restaurant is close by to a residential area or a office area, because this will help the restaurant to get a lot of customers, and as well as to serve them with bulk deliveries and everything else. So this is another search which I had done. We have an area called Bandra Kurla complex, which is near Mumbai, and it's a beautiful huge official office complex, actually commercial complex. So there are a lot of universities, there are a lot of banks, there are a lot of offices in the nearby area. So just look at how I have arrowed into all these things. This is where all the existing market is. So it is ideal for a customer to enter the market which already has existing customers. Otherwise, it can be really hard for your restaurant to function in the current scenario. That is the way you should think as to open the restaurant. So now you know two things. First is where these restaurants are located, where the existing restaurants are located, and secondly, why they are located, where they are located, as well as why they are located, because of the current market which is available. Select a restaurant concept which matches to your target clientele, which is available at your location. So let's say there is a lot of colleges or schools nearby, so you can set up your restaurants which is a cafe or a bistro or fast food restaurant or self-service restaurant. If you have a lot of residential areas nearby, you can go for a fine dine area or a bar or a theme kind of a restaurant. If you have a lot of corporate offices, you can go for a lounge bar or fine dine or economy restaurant. If you are if you want to open a restaurant on the highway, I think economy restaurant or dining would be the better way to go out of this. Let me get you to this one once again, so that you have this in your mind. If you are nearby colleges or schools, cafe, bistro, or fast food or self-service joints can work very well, because these young people have no time to sit and chat with you or with their friends and all. They want fast stuff, and at the same time, if you are owning opening a cafe or something like that, they have the couples and all those sit and then they have food. If you're nearby a residential area, if you want to open a location nearby a residential area, fine dine restaurants or bar theme restaurants can work very well. Corporate offices generally have lounge bars, fine dines, or economy restaurant. It is either of the two. Economy restaurant is for the masses, and lounge bars and fine dine is for the VP level or higher level who want to sit and have and who can afford to have a good food at a higher price. If you're opening a restaurant on the highway, economy restaurant or dining, both can work. Now check out some of these businesses and their target clientele. McDonald's, Domino's, KFC's generally are there where there are a lot of malls nearby colleges, universities, or highways. There are a lot of people, young people who stay nearby, who are studying nearby, who are there's a lot of floating population. Domino's, KFC's, or McDonald's generally come there. The foodies restaurants which I helped was opposite to DBJ College. It was again a fast food serving burgers, pizzas, and fries and all that. So you have to tally the type of people with the type. Don't open a fast food joint opposite a hospital. That's not going to work, frankly speaking. If you know what I'm trying to do, make sense of what you're going to serve and what would be your target clientele. All I want you to know to do is to know what you are going to serve in front of whom. The Govindashram Fine Dine restaurant of mine near Kalyan is nearby a residential colony. So residential colony, a lot of couples, a lot of families staying by. So they're working. They come in the evening, they have food, they chat together. Although the bill is little bit on the higher side, they can afford to spend that. Fine dine restaurant will generally not work in front of a college, because then nobody's going to come and spend 2,000 or 3,000 bucks. So you have to make sense of what you're going to open in front of what. The Kamath chain of restaurants, which you see on the highways and everywhere else, is generally targeting the economy people, because the food which they serve is pretty economic and tasty, of course, and that is suiting to the crowd which is there. So most of the restaurants fail because they open the right concept according to them at the wrong location. So that is what generally happens when you'd have no knowledge or no professional person guiding you to open your restaurants, and this really gets your business into shackles. Is this helping you guys? I think I'm sure you must be loving this. Is it making sense to you? Is it give me some feedback on how you're finding this training, because otherwise I'll just feel that I am monologuing. Is it really liking according to your taste? I guess so. I think this is. I think I will be going a little bit fast. Anyways, let's move ahead. So you're probably thinking this, right? That what if I open the same concept at the same location like others? So you can do that, but then there is another better way in which I can help you to open your own restaurant. Because if you open the same concept besides your competitor, the customer or the end guest gets confused, and the customers are diverted. So there is a better way to do this apart from opening the same concept besides your competition. What happens if you open a wrong concept? There are ways to rectify your target clientele, to rectify your menu, if you would have opened a wrong concept. Now, if you have not opened a restaurant, the question of opening a wrong concept doesn't arise. But then let's say that if you have opened a wrong concept somewhere, we can rectify that down the line. So is opening a location and giving great food and service at a remote location a good idea? It is, frankly speaking, not a good idea. If nobody can reach your location, it will be a pretty bad idea for you to open restaurant. The only thing which you will be saving is the rent money, because the rents will be pretty low. But then saving the rent money is not our goal. Our goal is to sell as much food as possible to as many customers as possible. So make sure that you have that in mind. So now I hope this has helped you to get a understanding of the location aspect. Let's move forward. Let's take the secret two, which is planning it right. Why? How you can plan your restaurant right, wherein you can secure finance and select a winning concept for your restaurant without mortgaging anything, not even your house. Now, what I mean by that is, your finance is one of the major aspects of owning a restaurant. If you have your own money, that is fine, but never, ever, ever make it a point to have your restaurant falling short of cash. The reason is it can really screw up your functioning. So now the is not late actually, he's alive. Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the richest person in the world, had said that never depend on a single income, make investment to create a second source. What he means by that is, opening a restaurant can be your other source of income if you want to really increase your wealth or create a wealth for yourself. Making another source of income available for you is the best way to get out of that working for your time, exchanging your time for money cycle. So now Tony Robbins, one of the biggest motivational gurus as well as a thinker, had already said that if you want to have success, you need to find a way to model those who have already succeeded. By what he means by modeling is to just copy the people who have done it, and you will be successful. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to create have that creative sense that I will do this and this will happen. Just follow people who have already done it. Do that, and you will find success in your life. Now, this step one is to for building a successful restaurant, you need funds. So the option which you have is, first is you could be having your own funds. So this is okay. If you don't have your own funds, you can borrow from your friends and family. And the third is you can apply for a loan in a bank. Now, second step is to creating a business plan, a restaurant business plan. The restaurant business plan will help you to get the figures right. What will be your sale? What would be your rent? What would be your expenses? What would be your profits? What would be your working capital, and all those things which I generally am going to teach you down the line. So that is the second aspect of planning your restaurant. The third is to plan your restaurant, the actual restaurant, how you're going to plan it. What would be your storage kitchen? What would be your sitting area? How many tables would be there? How many fans? How many ACs? And all that things. So these three steps will help you to build and plan your restaurant properly. So now, if you talk about the step one, that is the financing of your property, and I had said earlier that I have ways to teach you to not give any mortgage or collateral in order to secure finance. So let me talk about that actually. This is a secret to having no collateral for your business. So this is one of my clients whom I had helped set up a industrial catering in I think a couple of years back, around 5 or 7 years back. Her name is Bidula Agarwal, and she had done this. She had done this by not mortgaging anything. She was a banker actually, and she had done it by not mortgaging anything at all. So who this generally works for? This works for restaurants. This works for cafes. This idea of getting a finance which doesn't involve keeping anything for mortgage. This works for banquets. This works for takeaway joints, lounge bars, industrial caterings. This works for fine dine restaurants, fast food outlets. You can open anything with this. And this works for all type of beverages and all type of hospitality businesses. So before we go into restaurant design, let me come back to you on this collateral thing and give you a small brief of what you could do. There are certain banks in India, nationalized banks actually, who are offering loans on a credit guarantee scheme. By what they mean is, they offer loans which do not require you to mortgage anything. I think up to a crore or some 1 crore or something like that. Please don't take this as a financial advice. I am giving you my opinion. Go to the nationalized banks and try to find out, like the State Bank of India or any other bank, IDBI, or all those nationalized banks are there. Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of Satara, Bank of Baroda, and all those, and try to speak to the manager about credit-free bank. It is called as some CGT SME scheme or something like that, in which they offer collateral-free loans to business owners. The government of India, the in order to increase the small businesses, and in order to increase the small scale businesses, is offering credit free loans to all the people. So make sure you take advantage of that. Now let's move ahead. uh, this is what I wanted to tell you. Then comes the aspect of planning. What should be the plan? What should be the cafe design? So there are a lot of plans which you need to consider in order to open your own restaurant. The fine dine restaurants are there, then the banquet designing is there. So how do I choose a good restaurant concept? You must be thinking, Are, which restaurant should I think of? So you should think of that by matching the location and the location information with the concept information. So now, step one, which I want you to do, is to go to Zomato.com. Zomato is one of the biggest restaurant resource website on earth. I think so. It's one of the biggest and fastest growing companies. So you can go there. You can search for restaurants in your location, and you can type in the restaurants which you want to open, or rather which suits your kind of which you would love to go. Most of the restaurants which I love to open are restaurants in which I love to be in. So if you want to open lounges, if you want to open dining outlets, if you want to open Northern Indian outlets, or if you want to open just delivery outlets, this is a very good tool to research which kind of restaurants you want to open. So you must be probably thinking, if I don't want to borrow money from your family, I might fail. So see, let me tell you one thing. Nobody has become big without taking any risks. So if you want to stay safe in your comfort zone, I think it is better that you move out of this training, and you be on your. I don't want to be rude, but then if you want to be a successful businessman, somewhere down the line you have to take risk. And by risk, I don't mean that you have to gamble with that money. By risk, what I mean is you have to take the risk, take the funds from the family or from the bank, and put it to good use and hard work your bum off in order to make sure that your restaurant is successful. You are not taking this money just to spend on luxuries or things. You're taking this money for a specific purpose, to create a restaurant business for your own. So make sure you have that in mind. But the other thing which you might be thinking is, what will I do if my business fails? First of all, there is no guarantee that anything is going to happen in the future, and there are no guarantees in life. All I want to make sure is, if you do it the right way, you will succeed. If you do it in a way which will help you to create a restaurant perfectly, as I tell you, it is going to succeed. But then, yes, I cannot guarantee what is going to happen down the line, because I really don't know you. I don't know what you're going to do with the money. So that aspect is going to be there. Make sure that you have that in mind. Failure is possible down the line. I have failed so many times. I have shut down my restaurant so many times. So I would not say that you are not going to fail. But don't you think failure is an achievement in itself? I don't you think that after failure, after failing a lot of times, success is ensured? I think you should think in that terms. You should be more optimistic towards your future, and that will help you to create a good business and a good life out of your own. And the third thing is, why should I borrow money? If you have your own money, there is nothing like it. But if you don't have your own money, you should borrow the money, because if you want to open a restaurant, you will need money, you will need capital, and you cannot open a normal pav bhaji ka counter or something like that. If you want to open a steady, good restaurant, you will need money. So you will need to have those things in mind, while plunging into this business. So this is the overall view of why you should go for the restaurant industry as far as the finance and the concept is concerned. So now let's move ahead. Let's look at the third and the, I mean, one of my most favorite, I would like to say, favorite point in this whole restaurant business, and that is staffing. So this is one challenge which I had to overcome myself, because if you know, I come from the restaurant background, and there were a lot of misconceptions. There were a lot of pre-owned, preconceived ideas in my mind regarding staff. So let me teach you how to attract and retain superstar employees to your restaurant in less than 7 days. The first, the first thing which I want you to know is what I was doing before with good staff. If I wanted to have good staff, what we used to do around 10 years back used to, we used to request, beg or plead to the people. We used to overpay the staff. We used to suffer poor performance at work. We used to work, ourselves. If there was no staff, I used to do the service. I used to do the cash counter. I used to cook the food. I mean, there are a lot of things we used to do, and then we used to get a lot of family members to do the work. So people who, our brothers and our chachas, mamas used to come and used to help us in the restaurant. So it was a pretty miserable kind of a scenario as far as our restaurant was concerned. So now, after so many years, I have devised a way to attract staff, to get those staff in my restaurant, wherein I would attract good talent who would work for me. So this is my get your restaurant secret restaurant staffing technique, which I have devised a way. If you are opening a new restaurant, the one thing which you need to do is to advertise and attract good candidates. What I mean by that is to advertise and get good people, select good people from a chunk of people who are available to work at your restaurant. Select the good people, then you interview them, you qualify them, you take their trials, you take their tests, and then I have this proprietary method called the ACE method. It's called as the appreciate, care, and empower. And what I mean by that is, once your staff is done, they are working for you. You have to appreciate them, you have to care for them, and you have to empower them. If you don't do anything, any of these three things, people would start leaving your restaurant. By appreciating is whatever the work they are doing, since you have selected good people, once they start working for you, you have to appreciate them. You have to make sure that they are doing a good job, and make sure that they know, appreciate them in front of everybody. Don't be a wowser. Don't be like, okay, don't appreciate and just scold when they are doing a mistake. That is one of the suicidal kind of a thing for a restaurant. I've done this actually. A lot of good people have left my restaurant, and I have learned it the hard way, and I don't want you to do that. Caring, taking care of their needs. If they want some money, you can lend it to them. If they have some problem, make sure that you go give out that helping hand to them. That will make them come to, uh, that will make them more loyal to you. That will make sure that they'll feel that they're owning that place, they're owning that family. Give them a family feeling and empower them. Give them some decision making capacity. Give them some. Don't keep all the decisions in your hands. For example, in order to just take a 500 rupees ka chutta, he has to come and ask you. Don't be such a possessive kind of an owner. Be cool. Be okay with them taking decisions. Empower them, give them some authority, and then see how they take good care of your restaurant. So this is how we staffed. Since this is the latest restaurant which I had done, this is how we staffed it. We advertised with banners on in newspapers, and posted about the restaurant vacancy by hanging banners here and there in the local things. And then candidates started dropping in. There are a lot of candidates actually. So I took the interviews, and I qualified them in interviews and selected the best ones. And after selecting them, after creating the team, and after they started performing, I appreciated them by using my ACE method. I cared for them, and I empowered them with the decision making capacity in their own departments. So whatever departments they were, I have given them decisions to do. So they are very happy, once they take these decisions. So make sure that you have this in mind while you think of staffing for your restaurant. Now, this was the old thinking. Staffing is an unnecessary expense. Do you think this is the right way to think? I think you guys are pretty. You guys are pretty back on the chatting. I think you guys are not interested in chatting. I was a pretty good chatting guy when internet had just started. Staffing is staffing in the old thinking was like, staff was an unnecessary expense. The new way now is good staff equals higher restaurant profits. You have to totally think in a 360 degree, or rather in a 180 degree, whatever, that good staff is an investment. If you spend on the staff, if you give them good incentives, good salaries, on time salaries, and if you take good care of them, down the line they will go and they will increase your sales and make sure that your customers get that kind of an experience which they want and which they deserve. And then they'll come back to your restaurant, the customers, and increase your profits. So make sure that this staffing thing is in your mind. uh, so now that what will make your restaurant magnetic as far as your staffing is concerned, what will make your restaurant, you know, so attractive that there will be a line of people ready to join your restaurant. First is you have to pay them well. You have to pay them properly. Don't underpay. Saving 1,000 or 1,500 on each person is not going to help you. And secondly, the person whom you are underpaying is also not going to work properly. Second thing is you have to pay on time. On time salaries is one of the most underestimated thing in the restaurant industry. A lot of restaurant owners don't pay their staff on time, and then poor performance eats up into their profits. It is not seen actually, but then poor performance literally eats up into their profits. Give them breaks. Give them. He's a human. You have to use common sense. Sometimes common sense is not common practice. Give them breaks. Make them rest when there is no work. Don't just make them stand and do things when there is nothing to do. Just make them stand. Give them as much rest as possible, and when there is rush time, or when there is time when hard effort is required, that staff will come and work for you without any hesitance, because you have taken care of him when he required those breaks. And plan a party at least once every 6 months. This is one of the hidden secrets which I do at my resort as well as my restaurants. I give them a party every 6 months, and that party includes buffet food, their music, DJ music, and a lot of booze also. And sometimes I've given booze, sometimes depending on your restaurant. But then make them enjoy the work which they are doing. This is a totally radical idea actually. No restaurant owner I have seen is doing this, because first of all, restaurant owners are pretty conjuice as far as treating staff with good, treating staff good is concerned. So make sure you plan a party at least once a month, once every 6 months, and start a referral recruiting program. What I mean by a referral recruiting program is, once you have a team of people and you have started treating them well, paying them well, giving them breaks and giving them a party and all that, the existing staff will become very happy. They will start working anything. So if you want to recruit somebody else, first ask the people who are already working for you. So these people already are in touch with people from the restaurant industry. They will get good people for you. So if a referral person comes in your restaurant and works for you, it's very advantageous, because he is coming for reference, so he will not do any nakras and all that. And secondly, the recruiting person who has recruited this person will make sure that he works properly. So pay the person who has referred your staff some money, if he has referred somebody. I think this is a pretty common used technique in all the corporates around the world actually, wherein they tell you to refer a person or a candidate. The HR generally does it. So make sure you do that. So now, who here thinks the restaurant business is awesome? I have actually demystified all the three major things which have helped, which are a hurdle in getting your restaurant uh, to successful, getting your restaurant on a successful business. So make sure that you know these three things, and who you move ahead with a confidence, a sense of absolute certainty that you are going to do best in the restaurant industry, because these three ideas are going to really help you to create a good restaurant out of your own. The first is selecting a winning location. That is how to choose a winning location for your restaurant. The second is to plan it right, to secure finance, and to get a winning concept for your restaurant without mortgaging anything. And the third is to getting superstar employees to your restaurant in less than 7 days. So now, if you copied this, what works, you can own a successful restaurant. If you just follow the ideas which I'm going to give you down the line, you can own a successful restaurant. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Is this lots and loads of information for you? Are you feeling like this? Like, you are you are having water from a pipe hose? Because I think so. I think, are you feeling a little overwhelmed? I think this is a question which I meant to ask you, because there is lots of information which I have been telling you, and I'm sure I'm sure this is really helpful, because these three things: the staffing, finance, concept, as well as getting the location right, are the main things which generally help your restaurant. If you do it the right way, it will really shoot up your whole restaurant experience. So now let's move ahead. I've got a special program for you, which will help you to open this restaurant in a way which will really articulate, as well as point out a complete step-by-step process which you follow, and you get the restaurant on the right track. So what you're going to get in this restaurant masterclass is an everything which you need to know to open a restaurant. This is a 6 weeks online masterclass actually. The 6 weeks online masterclass helps you get the restaurant industry, to help to get know the restaurant industry in detail. What are the things, what are the moving parts which you are going to work on, which will help you to open a successful restaurant. This is what Rohit More had said when he had gone through that GYR masterclass, which he could set up a restaurant fast and reap the benefits. I am proud to tell you that you will be grossing more than 9 lakh rupees. This is a compliment which he had given me regarding the restaurant. This is what Mridula Agarwal had to say when I helped her to open a restaurant of your own. So these are the people whom have been there, who have done that, who are really reaping the benefits of owning a successful restaurant. So now, who this works for? This is for people who want to open a restaurant, cafes, fast food joints, takeaway outlets, fine dine restaurants, catering organizations, or lounge bars, self-service restaurants, and it works for all type of businesses related to the food industry. So if you don't have a location in mind, or if you're really worried that what kind of a location you want to you will target, I have a location finder in this course. These are series of videos in which I walk you step by step into how to select your own restaurant, as far as your restaurant is as far as your location is concerned, to open. Then if you're confused about the concept, which kind of concept you should go in, I'm going to help you out with that also. I'm going to help you with opening your own concept. I'll be explaining all the concepts in detail, and then we are going to match the concept with the location which you have, and then we will be finalizing on which kind of restaurant you want to open as far as your project is concerned. Now, what you are going to get in this masterclass is a 6 weeks complete get your restaurant masterclass, which is worth around 40,000 in the current scenario. This 6 weeks, you will have loads and loads of information which you can dive in, lot of videos to see, lot of planning sheets, tools and techniques, which will help you to get an idea of what you need to know in order to open a restaurant. So this is the total value is around 40,000 rupees. Now, what my GYR members, GYR stands for Get Your Restaurant Members Get, is access to this online masterclass training. So there is a private membership area which I have created, which has got lots of videos and lots of content which you need to go and learn in order to understand the restaurant business, then there will be 6 live weekly group coaching calls on which I will come online, and I will come on the phone along with all my members, and then we will talk. I will give them another presentation on what you need to learn regarding that week, and then you guys can ask me questions regarding your restaurant, what is going wrong, how I can help you. And this is not a fixed timing call. It will go as long as possible, wherein my goal is to help you with this. My goal is to help you with this training so that you open a successful restaurant. So wherever you are getting stuck, it is not that just learning is necessary. I'll be live also on these calls. I will be helping you out with this. Then the third thing is I'll give you access to my private Get Your Restaurant private Facebook page, on which you can ask me questions. There will be, you can interact with other members, and we will make sure that the community is formed and you can stay updated as well as informed about the restaurant business. And then there is loads and loads of more things which are currently coming up. So you'll be able to, by going through this program, you'll be able to instantly understand the basics of the restaurant business. You will be able to understand what all are the moving parts of the restaurant industry. You will be able to start your own. You'll have that kind of a knowledge which will help you to start your own restaurant business, and it will help you to add additional source of revenue for your current revenue, whatever you are earning. If you are owning a business, then it will add another source of income. Even if you are working somewhere, it will add another source of income, and you will be able to diversify into a new business. People who are owning existing businesses, it will be better for you, and you will own a reputable restaurant in your area. The benefits of that is amazing. I mean, the social benefits of owning a restaurant is one of the biggest attraction points nowadays in the market. So you'll be able to get rid of a lot of things. Firstly, you'll be able to get rid of lack of funds. So once you open your restaurant, your cash flows will increase, and you will never have a problem of not having money to spend or not having money to buy this and buy that. This is not a promise actually, but you do it the right way, and this can happen to you. Your cash flow will increase for your restaurant business, so you'll have lots of cash to play with. You'll have a lot of cash to invest. You will have a lot of cash to buy things, and you'll have a lot of cash to afford things which you would not have afforded earlier. So you'll be able to get rid of restaurant consultants also, because this program is self-sufficient in itself. I'll be releasing content each week which will help you to cover new topics, and with the weekly coaching calls, you'll be able to understand the total business in detail. So this is going to help you a lot. You'll be able to get rid of kitchen consultant. You don't need a kitchen consultant. You don't need a restaurant consultant. You'll be able to understand the restaurant business. Again, as I said, I think that point has come up again. You don't need recruiting agents, because I'm going to help you to recruit good staff, and you will be able to run a sustainable business. It's a stable business if you run it the right way, and there is so much more which you can do with this training. So the problem restaurant business will solve for you is, firstly, you'll be able to get out of that trading your time for money circle. If you're doing a job, if you're not liking the job which you're doing, this is the best way to create another source of income for you, which will help you to leave your job down the line once your business has stabilized and has started making money. It will help you to increase income by generating profits. It will increase the regular cash flow for your by due to your daily restaurant sales. And if you're doing a job and where things are pretty unstable, like nowadays, where things are pretty unstable in the IT industry or things like that, it will avoid the risk of you getting laid or fired from your job by owning an income generating side business. So if you're owning a restaurant which is doing good sales, even if you are let off by the company, it won't hurt you that much. You have another source of income to as a cushion to take care of your day-to-day expenses as well as your investments and all that. And it will, once you start running your business and everything is working smooth, it will give you more time with your family. It will give you, it will help you to give more time to your family and to enjoy with them, you know. And again, of course, a lot of money means higher standard of living, bigger house, new car. I don't need to tell you that once you start getting good money, you'll find out ways to invest and to get that standard of living. And it, down the line, if you invest it nicely, you will be able to create wealth for yourself and your family. So it will also reduce the risk by diversifying into the restaurant business. Current business owners will be able to reduce the risk by getting another source of income, which will increase their cash flows and will help in diversifying their businesses. So what are you going to get? First is you're going to get the 6 weeks online access to the GYR Masterclass, Get Your Restaurant Masterclass. That is the value of around 40,000. What else do you need now? Okay, you need to raise capital. Okay, so you need to have know ways on how you can raise capital. I've created this restaurant business planner. It is a training for you to know how to uh, training for you to know how you can win in this game of securing finance, as well as choosing a winning concept in this restaurant business. What is in this restaurant business planner? First is I've created a sample project report for you. That project report has all the details on what should your rent be, what should be a. It's like a complete balance sheet of your restaurant. I've created a sample thing for you, so you don't need to create it from scratch. I've given you a sample rent agreement. So let's say you're renting out a place. If you're owning the place, then it's good. But most of the time, people take properties on rent. The rent agreement is ready with you. You just need to do a lot of different small changes, and then it is yours. I have given a list of loan schemes from banks and financial institutions, which will help you to secure finance for your restaurant. And then I'm going to give you a sample profit and loss statement also. This profit and loss statement, combined with all the other three things, is going to help you to plan your business right as far as your finance and as far as your other things is concerned. So you don't have to go through the 20 years of trial and errors I have been through to discover these strategies. Nowadays, capital is pretty easily available. It was not like that 20 years back. I remember we used to pay around 24 or 25% interest when there were cooperative banks. Now I think you must be having we go get secured finance by around 10 or 11%, even less than that if you have the right leverage. So make sure you take this pretty make sure you take this finance option also, because this will help you to get raise finance for your restaurant. So this restaurant business planner will instantly understand, you'll instantly be able to understand the restaurant business, because you have the profit and loss statement as well as the project report. You will be able to apply for collateral free loans, because you'll be able to have a list of loans which are available. You just need to go to that bank manager, speak to him, and get the picture. You will be able to copy and tweak the restaurant rent agreement. So your rent agreement is also ready. The project report will help you to allocate funds after getting a loan, and many more things like the P&L, the balance sheet, and the loan banks areas where you're going to get loans. Everything is there in the restaurant business planner. So what you're going to get now, again, I'm going to go through is the 6 weeks masterclass. Second is the restaurant business planner, which is around 20,000 value. It's a basic value which I have put. Actually, it is worth more than that, because I am helping you out with everything. But this is the token value of 20,000 which I have kept. That makes this total bounty to somewhere around 60,000 bucks. Now let's move ahead. What's your next problem? Okay, your next problem is location. I have created this. This is the hard way we used to do earlier. We used to open a restaurant first without research. We used to take the risk. We used to wait for the customers. We used to sell food. We used to absorb high purchase cost, and it would be very painful for us to come into getting more profits. We used to live on very meager profits, within very minimum wafer thin profits. But this is not going to happen to you now. The easy way which I have created to you is the location finder and conceptualizer. So you have, I'm going to teach you how to research your location. I'm going to teach you how to analyze and open the right concepts. I'm going to plan a revenue strategy for you, so that how you can how you can earn revenue from different sources of income within different sources of revenue within your current restaurants, what to sell to your right target clientele, and how to avoid going into losses. This is one of the key things which I have got from this 20 years of experience, is how to avoid going into losses. This alone itself is going to help you. This alone itself is going to help you pay for the course which I'm going to give you. So the restaurant location finder is one thing in which I'm going to teach you how to find the right location. What all are the different concepts? All the concepts, which concept will suit which layout. Where should your kitchen be? Where should your cash counter be? Where should your toilet be? Where should your sitting area be? Where should your dumb waiter? So all these things need a little bit of planning. Those are easy, and I will help you to do that in order to make sure that you set your restaurant right. And setting a right restaurant helps you to create a smooth workflow place, and it is better for your customers also, in order to they can come, they love to eat, and then they'll come back again and again. So that makes them a success. A conceptualizer is a training in my masterclass which will help you to select the right concepts. What should be your concepts? Should it be a fast food joint? Should it be a cafe? Should it be a fine dine area? Should it be a ODP kind of a restaurant? Should it be a self-service restaurant? Should it be a takeaway joint? So all these things are very, very important. The wrong concept, if you put it on a location, it can really kill your whole dream. So make sure that you have I've provided the restaurant conceptualized also. So now, summing it up back again, I'm giving you the 6 weeks restaurant masterclass. There is the business planner. I'm giving the location finder also, which is valued at around 15,000 rupees. The masterclass is valued at around 40,000. The restaurant business planner is valued at around 20,000. The location finder is valued at around 15,000. The restaurant conceptualizer is valued at around 18,000 rupees. The total value now is 93,000 rupees. And this in itself is going to give you such a value of around 93,000 rupees. Now, the last thing which you need is quality staff. How can you attract quality staff in your restaurant? Staffing, as I said earlier, was one of the backbones of your restaurant. So what I have provided here is, now this is a lady's photo which I have given. This is how I used to feel when my staff, I didn't have good people to work with me. So I used to tell them, if you weren't my staff, I would have killed you. So this this really makes me laugh. So moving ahead, I've created a superstar staff selector training program in the masterclass course, and that training itself is going to help you to attract good candidates. It is going to give you candidate application generating techniques in which you can attract good people who can apply at your restaurants. I will give you ideas on how to interview them, what you should ask in the interviews, what you should see if you want to get them in kitchen and things like that. How are you going to grade them? What would be your staff motivation calendar? What all you are going to do in order to keep the staff motivated? And what is the general staff restaurant hierarchy? By what I mean by hierarchy is, who should be at what level? Generally, you don't need that kind, so many people in your restaurant. You need basic people, but what should be the hierarchy? I'll make you understand that. And all I want you to know is, you can do it with these tools, with these techniques, with these resources, with this membership which I'm giving you, with my support, by coming on calls, by talking to the other members. You can do it. Have faith in yourself and have faith in your life is positive. Just think positive and good things start happening to you. I have done it, my other students have done it, and I don't see a reason why you cannot do it. So now, summing it back again, first is the 6 weeks masterclass, which is valued at around 40,000. Second is the restaurant business planner, which is valued at around 20,000. Third is the location finder, which is valued at around 15,000. Fourth is the restaurant conceptualizer, which is valued at around 18,000. And then there is the superstar staff selector, which is valued at around 30,000. The total value of all is around 1,23,000 rupees. Now, this training is worth more than that, but I have given a pretty basic valuation to this, just to put a token amount on the total package. Now, if all this did was if you invest in this course and all this did was help you open a restaurant concept that was profitable, a few thousand rupees a day, would it be worth it? If you open a restaurant which is doing around 5 or 10,000 rupees a day, would it be worth investing in this restaurant business? If it helped you create a revenue generating business, would it be worth it? If you start earning money which you are earning in a month, if you start earning in a day, would it be worth it? If this gives you an ability to create a plan B, if you are able to create a plan B for your in your life, which will help you to give a supplementary income, would it be worth? When I made this course, I had two choices. The first choice was I can go as cheap as possible while giving you this to as giving this training program to as many people as possible, and it would have not really incentivized me, and I would have had to talk to lots and lots of people, and I could not have served so many people. So this is what the second option was, to make you invest a little higher investment, but in exchange I can devote more resources, I can give you more time, I can give you more advice, and make sure that you open a right concept in right concept, the right location, with the right finance and at the right technique, so that you get a successful restaurant in down the line. So what's this one restaurant worth to you? If you open a restaurant, what would that one restaurant be? One successful restaurant, is it 1 lakh rupees a month, 3 lakh rupees a month? I'm talking about profits. This is not the sales. So after removing all the expenses and your investment, your cost of capital and all that, if you save 1 lakh rupees a month, 3 lakh rupees a month, how much would you pay to get that? How much would you pay to get that kind of a restaurant, one profitable restaurant? Now let me tell you about my restaurant. This is the restaurant in Nagotane, which cost me around 20 lakh rupees around I think 7 or 8, 10, 15 years back. And now it is making me consistently somewhere around 70,000, 50 to 70,000 rupees per day. The sales vary depending on the season, but on an average it is doing somewhere around 70,000 rupees a day. Now that means 70,000 a day into 30 days is somewhere around 21 lakh rupees, and 21 lakh rupees is a pretty good sum. This is why, so many of the people pay me 7 lakh rupees per month. Sorry, 7 lakh rupees for a project plus 5% of their profits. That is actually lakhs of rupees to set up a restaurant for them. I've physically set up lots of restaurants for these people, and that is my consulting fee actually, which I take to set up these kind of restaurant. So you can see why it's a good deal at around 1.23 lakh, 1,23,000 rupees. You're getting everything which you need to know about the restaurant industry. You're getting everything which you want to open a restaurant. But you are special to me. You have spent this time. I think now it is somewhere around 7:15 or 7:20 now. So you have spent somewhere around 1 hour 15 minutes with me, and you are special now. So for this time which you have spent to me, I'm going to for this time which you have spent to watch this training. That means that you are having faith in this concept. You're having faith that you want to change this life of yours, and for this I am going to offer this to you. Let me sum up what all I am going to offer you. So the 6 weeks masterclass is for 40,000 bucks. Restaurant business planner is for 20,000 bucks. Location finder is for 15,000. Restaurant conceptualizer is for 18,000. Superstar staff selector is for 30,000. And this all total comes up to around 1,23,000 rupees. But I am not going to charge you 1,23,000 rupees. I am not going to charge you 1 lakh rupees. I am not going to charge you 80,000 rupees. I'm not even going to charge you 60,000 rupees. I'm not even going to charge you 50,000 rupees. And I'm not even going to charge you 40,000 rupees. I am going to charge you if you sign up now, if you go to getyourrestaurant.com/go now and you sign up for this membership, sign up for this complete training, and if you shake hands with me, if you believe in this concept, and if you want me to help you create this successful restaurant, if you get started now, I am going to charge you only and only. Are you ready for this? I mean, this is going to literally floor you. If you're not sitting down, you have to sit down. I am going to charge you just 11,997 to work with you for 6 weeks to take your business, to create your restaurant business, and to help you understand the restaurant business in detail, and make sure that this helps to change your life. I'm This is a pretty basic amount. If you look at, if you want to open a restaurant which is going to do thousands and thousands of rupees for you day in and day out. So now let me move ahead. My consultation call, which I generally do per day, I generally charge around 10,000 rupees an hour, in which I give them lots of information. They ask me a lot of questions. So this is the 10,000 rupees an hour. You are getting around six of this free with your investment today. So this in itself is 60,000 rupees. You're paying 11,997 rupees for 60,000 bucks worth of information right away. So now don't take this lightly, because this in this 6 weeks calls, you can ask me anything and everything related to the restaurant industry. So wherever you are getting stuck, whatever you want to do, you can think of that. Now you have two choices. First option is you don't want to do anything and you want to just take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk free. I'll tell you how it is 100% risk free. uh, you will think that you don't want to go for this, and you don't want to take this leap of faith. It is pretty uh, not good in your interest to take this decision, because you are not going everywhere. You are going to just save that 11,997. That's it. That is what you are going to do. You're not going to set up your own restaurant. You're not going to change your life. That is what is going to happen if you don't do anything. And second option is, if you could come up with this small investment today, $11,997, sorry, 997 rupees. Dollar, I'm saying, I'm so sorry. 11,997 rupees, that is 12,000 rupees. If you come up and you give it, if you buy this course, if you buy this membership area, if you go to this membership area and if you start studying, you will be able to open a restaurant of your own. And I think this money is basically peanuts if you think of, if you once your restaurant starts running. So if what I always have believed is, if I cannot make money for you, then I don't deserve the money, your money. So that is why I am giving you a 30 days guarantee on this program. By what I mean is, if at all in this 30 days you are unsatisfied with anything at all while studying the course, even if it is 29 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes from now, just let me know and I will give you my whole money back. Whatever is your money you have paid me, I will repay it back to you. I have utter confidence in myself, because I have been there, I have done that, I have learned a lot from my business, and I want to teach it to you. But if you somewhere down the line, if you feel that you didn't like the concept, you didn't like the training, you're not getting that kind of worth or anything at all, I'm not even going to ask you any question. Just tell me that you are not happy or whatever, just refund. I will refund away your money in the 30 days after you sign up for this program. So this is why let me get back to you. This is why I said that it is 100% risk free. Your 30-day guarantee is there. Nobody else in this industry gives you money back. But since I am confident about my services, I'll make sure that you build your own restaurant. I'll make sure that you create a business of your own. That's why This guarantee is for you and it will stay for 30 days. No questions asked whatsoever. Just tell me, you are getting your money back. And now the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? I mean, even if half of what I have claimed today in the training is true, wouldn't it pay for itself? Even if you get, even if you get the restaurant running, I think a restaurant, once you start and once you run a restaurant, this program will help you to successfully manage it. And I think 12,000 rupees is pretty basic in today's life as far as investing in a content rich information of such sort is concerned. So make sure you take advantage of this. Don't let someone kill your dreams for you. If you have been told in your, from your childhood that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, that is not the case. If you are doing a good job, or if you're, if you're studying, that means every person has got a potential. He has to believe in himself. You can open a restaurant. You just need to have the right tools. You need to have the right systems. You need to have the right information, a right guidance, like person like me. And I'll make sure that you open a good restaurant which is profitable. So don't ever. This is the famous Bahubali's photo which I had taken. Bahubali 2. I love this movie. Yeah. I mean, I'm totally crazy about this movie. So make sure that you take, don't let, your dream be killed like how Katappa killed Bahubali, and sign up for this. Money is never a problem. Actually, we can always come up with money for things which we find that, it's valuable. So if this is not valuable for you, what else is? If this is not, money is good. You can save the 12,000 rupees now, and but I don't know what else are you going to achieve if you save that money. In the against that money, the value which you are getting, the information which you are getting, the trade secrets, the consulting advice from people who have already done that is going to help you to create a restaurant of your own. And that, I think, is far more than that 12,000 rupees. So make sure you do. The real question is, do you want to change your future by building a successful restaurant? Now, it is not a question about yes, about knowing about more about business or no. The question or the ball is in your court, whether you really want to change your life by opening a successful restaurant of your own. And if the answer is yes, right away go to getyourrestaurant.com/go and sign up for this. Sign up for this training, and I will make sure that you get all the support, information, and the guidance to open your own restaurant. Make sure, now again, summing up, let me tell you what you're going to get. You are going to get a 6 weeks online masterclass. You are going to get, which is worth around 40,000 rupees. You're going to get a restaurant business planner, which is worth around 20,000. You're going to get a location finder, which is worth 15,000. You're going to get a restaurant conceptualizer, which is around 18,000 rupees. You're going to get a superstar staff selector, which is around 30,000. All that sums up to around 1,23,000 rupees. And you're going to get that everything. But wait, now there is something more. You are there is a special bonus for fast action. I have always rewarded people who are fast action takers. Now, for the first 50 people who are going to sign up today, I am going to give them a special course which I am going to create for you guys on how to create your own wealth. That that program is what I call is the wealth creation formula. Earning money, earning revenue, and creating wealth are two total different things, and I have learned it the hard way. Systematically using the cash flow to create a wealth of your own is the formula for creating a massive wealth for yourself. So right now, the first 50 people who are going to sign up for this, only those first 50 people are going to get this get this wealth creation formula. That is the wealth course which I call about. Now go to the getyourrestaurant.com/go and sign up for this free training. I'll be here for another 15 or 20 minutes or so answering the questions. If you still have questions, you can mail them at support@getyourrestaurant.com. You can also mail them at support@getyourrestaurant.in. So mail your queries if you have at support@getyourrestaurant.in. I think I'll be there for another 15-20 minutes. You can also put in the queries if you have. So the 6 weeks masterclass, the restaurant business planner, the location finder, the restaurant conceptualizer, as well as the superstar selector, all these five things are worth more than around 1,23,000, but I am going to offer them to only sorry, I'm going to offer them to only rupees 11,997. This is going to help you to change your life. Go to getyourrestaurant.com/go and sign up for this training, and I'll make sure that you are taught in a way which will help you to set up a restaurant of your own. You're successful and change your life forever. Thank you so much, and I do send us if you have any. Do send us if you have any queries at support@getyourrestaurant.in, and I'll make sure that those queries are answered. Go to getyourrestaurant.com/go and buy your course now, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for being here online. There are so many of you. There are so many of you who are available, who have given their time. I appreciate that. I appreciate your patience. I'm sure that you must have got a lot of value out of this training. Make sure that you ask me questions on support@getyourrestaurant.in and go to getyourrestaurant.com/go and buy this training. Thank you so much for your time. Bye bye and have a nice day. Bye bye.